Well, hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Breaking In, where you guys will follow the path of five aspiring comic book artists as we do our very best to break into the comic book industry over the next 12 months. I'm Lloyd, and it's my turn to upload. First of all, I just want to say thank you guys for staying steady with us. I know I was supposed to upload yesterday, but I had toe surgery that kept me from getting online. That's right, real toast. Believe me. Do I need to? That's all you get to see. Needless to say, it was not pretty. It was not a pretty sight, but it happened. These are real live issues that we have to deal with. So here we are today, the very next day, following through with my commitments. So, welcome to the real world of comic book amateur art. Hopefully, in a year's time, I'll be able to say comic book professional art. And I'll have insurance by then. That's a joke. I have insurance now. Anyway, that being said, last time I uploaded, I set a goal for establishing myself on social media. So today, I am proud to say I have a Tumblr page, I have a Facebook art page, and a Deviant Art Page. It was very painful doing this. I was really outside of my comfort zone, but thank goodness for my girlfriend who stood behind me with one of those aluminum baseball bats and would not let me get up from my seat until I was finished. She really motivated me. Thanks, Jen. Big shout out. And I have the scars to prove it. So sometimes love hurts. Just know that. Anyway, that being said, you guys really responded well to it. I had no idea I was going to get such a fast response, and I really appreciate that. So thank you. Thank you very much. Now I realize also that I got to keep putting artwork up, so it's making me draw more. It's also forcing me to put some of the works that I'm very proud of and I'm really happy about. I'm pleased with how they came out. It's making me upload those, so that's a good thing too. And I realize that this is now going to become my archives. This is a digital historical record of my journey as an artist that's breaking into the professional ranks. That being said, it made me think of a conversation that I had with Andy Kubert about a year ago, right when I was graduating the Kubert School. It was a very candid conversation in which I shared my goal for Andy was for the next year. My goal for myself, I should say, for the next year, this was a year ago, I told Andy, I said, for the next year, I'm going to give myself, just this next 12 months to level up, to get all of my art to the consistent professional grade that it needs to be published. And Andy looked at my artwork and, true to form, was very honest, very candid, and he said, hey, it's probably going to take you more than a year. Kind of not what I wanted to hear at the time. He said it nicely. And I will say this, it's good to have people in your life that will be honest with you. You can't be that person on American Idol that can't sing, that's got your whole family wondering why you didn't make it. They weren't honest with you. It's their fault you didn't make it. So don't be that guy or that gal, okay? For all of us, please. So I won't be that guy when it comes to comic book art as well. And thankfully, because I have people around me that will be honest with me, like Andy and my friends, Dropper and Ernesto, Aries, and Damien. If you don't have people around you that are honest with you, you need to get that because you're missing out on something. Well, one of the big takeaways from that conversation that Andy told me, that Andy and I had, was he said, you need to allow yourself to be influenced by someone else. And that really challenged me because, as an artist, and plus I'm an older guy too, so I'm kind of set in my ways, clearly. But as an artist, that challenged me because I figured, hey, I'm doing this my way. It's my style. I've got my voice, and it's going to speak. And that's true. However, there's nothing wrong with looking at the people that have come before you and learning from their journey, which is kind of what we're doing now, in a sense. So I was having a conversation with my mom just yesterday, and we were talking about action movies. My mother's a big action film junkie. I grew up watching action films with her, which is probably why I'm into comics now. So thanks, Mom. Love you much. Anyway, I realized that she has never seen this new James Bond series. She's never seen Daniel Craig as James Bond. And I was explaining to her how awesome it is. It's so cool. My mom comes from an era where Sean Connery is her Bond, and Sean Connery should be a lot of our James Bonds. People out there, And if he's not, we'll have to have that conversation, offline. But anyway, Sean Connery was awesome. And I was telling her, Daniel Craig is killing it right now. It's really cool, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Then I realized that every time they show James Bond in a title, it's never just James Bond. It's Ian Fleming's James Bond. And I thought that was really cool because Ian Fleming, if you do some research on him, he's a really cool guy, author. But a lot of the James Bond kind of action adventure playboy kind of thing came from his own life, and that's really cool. But then I realized, hey, there's another British character that's kind of sealed himself in our minds as his own entity, and that's Sherlock Holmes. So both of these characters, James Bond and Sherlock Holmes, they have their own little corner in pop culture. But it's never just Sherlock Holmes. It's Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes. Then I was thinking, and this is how my mind works, right? Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Conan is yet another character who's just sealed in our minds as this standalone character who goes on all these adventures. He was created by a writer by the name of Robert E. Howard. Robert E. Howard was a guy that was way ahead of his time, and he truly died before his time. But he created so many characters that just kind of stand out. He also created Red Sonja, Solomon Kane, Cole the Conqueror, just so many characters. And there are a number of characters I didn't even mention just now. But he created them, and they just have their own little world, their own little universe, but they're solidified in our minds as these really cool characters that we like to follow. And now bringing that into what Andy and I had a conversation about a year ago, that's kind of what I want to do. I want to be a guy that creates a character or set of characters that kind of have their own little spot in pop culture that people just want to follow. Maybe it's a big epic story. Maybe it's a singular, very focused story. But the themes are broad enough that they reach all of us, and there's so much action and adventure involved that it never gets boring. Guys like Stan Sakai, who created Usagi Yojimbo, he writes it, he pencils it, inks it, colors it oftentimes, and he also letters it. It's got his thumbprint on it. His DNA is throughout this entire saga. Kari Andrews just recently did this with Iron Fist from Marvel Comics. Great run. It was over the past year. It was really cool. I'm a kung fu martial arts film guy, so it really has that cinematic kung fu feel to it. It's really, really cool. You guys should check it out. Frank Miller, Howard Chaykin, subject content notwithstanding. Those guys, they do it as well. Also, Joe Kubert, really, really famous for doing that with Tor, his own character. Will Eisner, they say he's the godfather of the graphic novel. These are the kinds of guys that I'd like to emulate, where they have a brainchild. Will Eisner did The Spirit, and that's just awesome stuff, right? So that's kind of what I want to do. So these are guys I'm looking at now to see, okay, what were they doing when they started out? What can I be doing to kind of pace myself with them, and not mimic them per se stylistically, but what are the principles that they adhered to that garnered them the success that they had. So I'll be watching those guys, and for you guys will be holding me accountable for that. So I'll be uploading my ideas with content, high quality content, remember. So be on the lookout for that. My goal is to be that guy that publishing companies come to and say, hey, Lloyd, we have a character that's at this level. In the next 6 months, we want you to take him or her to this level so that we can do something else with the character, but we want you to bridge that gap. Kind of like a Darwin Cook. And Darwin's really awesome, by the way. I'm a big fan. So be on the lookout for that. I'll be uploading all the time, constantly now. I'm always drawing, so now I have a place to store my art, and you guys can check it out. So thank you so much for following. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'll see you next time. Be on the lookout for my main man, Ernesto Sin, everybody's favorite little brother. He's got some exciting and really informative things to share with you next time. So I'll see you on Breaking In, episode 12. Peace.